women are not really, they don't really have the appetite to join politics, because we see that as a bit of a dirty game, because you have to go on campaigning, there are lots of activities to do. And as we know, coming from a very traditional society, women, I mean, it's not just one thing a woman has to do. She has to take care of her family, education, it could be her career, it could be so many other things. So really committing to politics have been a bit of, I would say, not really an issue, but where they are not really interested, where the interest is not really internalized, where they don't feel the urge to really join politics and then have the women's voices heard. But even for those who are really interested, sometimes in Sri Lanka, most of the women who join into the parliament or politics, either their husbands have been politicians or either their fathers have been politicians. So even without this political background or political family setting, they find it quite hard to actually join the parliament. So I would say that it's an interest factor on one hand, it's a social factor on the other hand. And when these two connect, sometimes it could be an economic factor that holds as a barrier. But particularly when it comes to politics, even though there's much interest, sometimes there are these factors, this socio-economic, and politics itself could act as a barrier, where they have the need to, but they don't know how to. Sometimes they know how to, but they just don't need to. Like, let's say for an example, let's say I'm a daughter of a very famous politician, but see, even though I can easily get into politics, what if I'm not really interested? But let's say on the other hand, I am a daughter of a normal public servant, where for me then entering into politics would be really hard, because I need to know people, I need to get to know them, so there's so much competition, there's so much fierce competition for votes. So you see the barriers. So okay. And also economically also, because you need to spend so much for your campaigning and so forth. There are people always expect something tangible, because since we are coming from a developing country, policy is playing a bit of a backstage role altogether, because that's just the reality. There are infrastructural changes that needs to be done. So for that you need money, for that you need to have a very good financial arm. I think before you do anything in life, you need to understand why you want what you want. That's the most important thing in life. It doesn't matter what you do. And let's say you want to be a politician, fine. Ask yourself why you want to be a politician. What change do you really want to bring in this world? For me, it's about changing attitudes of people. For me, I'm a public speaker, and I love to speak because I believe that if I speak, and I could definitely change people's attitudes, because I don't believe in changing the world. I believe in changing attitudes of people towards the world, because coming from a very traditional society, I know that it's all about attitudes. You change their attitudes, you can achieve, be it sustainable development goals, be it post-sustainable development goals, 2030 agenda, or whatever it is. It's all in our attitudes. If we can have an attitude where we respect people for their choices, for their decisions, and where we actually care for them and take care of them, I think the world would be a much more better place. So definitely ask yourself why you want what you want in life, and then ask yourself again how you want to go there as well. So just be honest to yourself and then do what it takes. You'll be awesome.